from the state capitol. The Capitol Report with Assemblyman Sam Blakesley. And now, the Capitol Report.
Today, we're going to show you one episode in a series we're calling The Treasures of the Central Coast. Hi, I'm Assemblyman Sam Blakesley, and in these half-hour broadcasts, we're hoping to give you an inside look at some of the most spectacular monuments, historical sites, and landscapes that make San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties some of the most beautiful places on Earth. Today, we are here at CalPoly, one of the finest institutions of higher education in the entire state, some would say in the nation. California is blessed to have a very strong and robust higher education system that consists of community college, the CSU, California State University system, and of course the University of California system. And that three-tier system allows students with a number of different goals to be able to have a welcome place for them to achieve those goals in a higher education setting. And today, being here on the campus of Cal Poly, I'm with Bob Koob, who is the provost, which is a very distinguished position. He essentially coordinates all the academic exercises, the faculty, ensuring the curriculum is appropriate. And it's a real treat to be with Mr. Koob, who worked here for a number of years and just came back after a period out of the state. We're just delighted to have you join us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you so much. Mr. Koob, could you tell us a little bit about Cal Poly, what makes it such a special institution with 23 CSU schools around the state? Why is Cal Poly seen as a jewel among those great institutions?
Well, Cal Poly is something called, as its name implies, a polytechnic institution. That means that our students have the opportunity, as we say, learn by doing. We make sure that our students not only sit in the classroom, but they get a chance to practice what they learn. That makes them exceptional employees. But in addition to that, we provide a very strong liberal education. So as they get out, get their job, they learn how to apply those technical skills in the human soft skills environment. So as they move up through the ranks within their company or their organization, whatever it might be, they can take on executive responsibilities because of that balance between technical skills that gets them the job and the soft skills that allows them to progress into the future. That combination of things is not available everywhere. Absolutely. And that has been very attractive to students, so that the quality of student we get goes up and up, and of course the better the students, the better the opportunity to educate them, the better employee they make, and the better citizen they make, whatever it might be.
Tremendous.
So our application rate now far exceeds the number of slots we have.
Now, I've heard there are a number of departments which are known to be exceptional in terms of the caliber of students they attract and the caliber of employees that they ultimately provide. Could you talk a little bit about sort of those departments that have defined Cal Poly as being exceptional in history, and I'm sure there'll be new ones in the future.
Yeah, there will be. There's just no question. The ones that are traditionally known for their national excellence is the College of Architecture. It's one of the largest in the nation. It's ranked in its programs are ranked in the top 5 in the nation. I mean, we're talking about architecture across the United States, not just here in California. Same way with the College of Engineering. Engineering is one of our core programs. It attracts high-quality students. It also is ranked nationally in the top 5 or 6 for some of its departments. Not all the departments, but a number of those.
Agriculture, I think, is very popular here.
It's very popular. It's the foundation of Cal Poly. It's what we started out to be, was an agricultural school. Agricultural popularity as a program diminished, particularly in the 80s. It's now coming back strongly. The quality of students in agriculture is coming up. The good news about our College of Agriculture, while it doesn't necessarily win the national awards, it in fact populates most of the agribusiness here in California. And everybody knows, I think, that California is a high-end agriculture state, maybe #1 in the nation. We don't think of California as being an ag state, but in many ways it is. And because of that, our graduates get good jobs and they are very successful in the industry. So across the board, our students get well placed, they succeed in those placements. That gets back, we get, those folks, kids, wanting to come back. The reputation grows. It's the buzz, that this is the place to be. The more we keep that buzz going, the more we do our job, the more we get good quality students, and it just keeps ramping up.
Bob, I can't tell you how many times I bump into people, and I can't happen more times than I can recite, where they'll tell me, "Oh, you're from San Luis Obispo? Well, I went to Cal Poly,
Yeah,
and let me tell you what a great time we had at Cal Poly and how much I learned." It has this sort of an endearing and enduring affection among its students, and you've got a very successful effort, as I understand it, with your foundation.
We do.
Graduates who later in life, after having been very successful, want to give back to this institution.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Certainly. When I first joined Cal Poly back in 1990, I believe it was, we didn't even think in terms of fundraising. But as life got more difficult in the public eye, we began to consider fundraising as an important part of the way in which we could enhance the quality of the institution. The first major donor, I think, the one that at least I remember first, is a fellow called Al Smith. He was the founder of OSH, Orchard Supply Hardware we called it then, but it's now called OSH or something like that. I'm not sure. But he loved Cal Poly. He'd gone to school here. He was into trains. He made an anonymous donation, but you can't keep that kind of thing down. It was over $20 million. And he then, as he passed away, gave us a ranch called Swanton Pacific up near Santa Cruz, and that illustrated for us the power that an alum could have in terms of influencing the quality of the programs. His primary interest was in agriculture. That's where he graduated. Most recently, we have a bequest of $60 million within the College of Architecture, also anonymous at this point, so people aren't doing it to draw attention to themselves.
They just love the institution.
They just love the institution.
Well,
and we finished a
very
great
legacy.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And it's a wonderful opportunity for the university and for its students to grow.
And Bob, we really appreciate your allowing us to come and visit your institution, and we also appreciate what Cal Poly gives to our community. And thank you so much.
Hey, it's been great.
For this time together.
Thanks for the opportunity to visit with you.
Absolutely. We're here at Poly Canyon Village, the newest housing facility at Cal Poly, with Housing Director, Executive Director, Preston Allen. Preston, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I sincerely appreciate an opportunity to see what is a rather extraordinary facility. I have never seen housing quite like this. I feel like I'm in a small city right next to the university, and it's brand new. This is the first year of operation, I understand.
Yes.
And you've been a leading force in making this happen. Can you tell us about the facility, why you created it the way you did, and just how people are responding to this type of housing right here at Cal Poly?
Good. Well, again, welcome to Poly Canyon Village. This really is an amazing complex. We were charged to build a housing complex that students would want to live in, not just a housing complex. And so we work very closely with students in every bit of the design to make it successful. And by all accounts, and we've only been in here since fall, by all accounts, though, it's been quite amazing. The heart of the complex is designed around this plaza.
And it feels like I'm downtown San Luis Obispo.
Exactly.
This does not feel like a dorm.
Yes.
This feels like someplace I'd come to get a cup of coffee or read a book. It feels like a very social environment.
Very much so. You know, students describe it as Disneyland without the rides. Yeah, that's how they describe this. And so with the plaza, the plaza is completely wireless. So students can actually be out here and conduct their academic business and or pleasure business, whatever it is that they're doing on their computer. And they're surrounded by just some wonderful restaurants, the Jamba Juice here, the Einstein's Bagel, the Peach Coffee, and also there's a fine market. The concept was we wanted students to be able to do grab and go.
Right.
You know, not necessarily sit-down restaurant where you spend 3 hours because they have work to do. They need to be on the main campus going to class.
And
so
how
it's
far
kind of
away
grab and
are
go.
you from the main campus? How long does it take to get from there to here, and where are the young people spending their time?
Yeah, well, we're about a 4-minute walk to where the students who are living on the main campus
So
will
that's good
begin.
exercise?
Very good exercise. We spend a lot of time detailing the pathways, so they're all very well lit. We have a beautiful bridge that crosses Brizolera Creek because we're right adjacent to the creek area. And then you pop right out on campus. As you will see, there's tons of bikes around, so students are riding and walking. And I really think it gives them that sense of kind of wind down where, you know, you and I appreciate a 10 or 15-minute commute back and forth to work. Well, I think they have kind of the same experience.
And it gives a little bit of separation from campus, but also a very safe setting.
Yes.
They're not, you know, as a young person living in a larger town,